Betty and Bertie's Dog Grooming here in Braintree. I trained to be a dog groomer in 2019. I actually went up to Manchester to do my training. So I kind of lived a student lifestyle while I was up there for about 5 weeks, and I trained every day, Monday to Friday. Came back to Essex, obviously looked into like setting up the business, made all the plans, did the business plan, started buying equipment, launched on the 1st of March 2020, and then 3.5 weeks later we went into lockdown. So it was an interesting time. I felt like I was all dressed up and nowhere to go. So it was nerve-wracking. It felt like a really bad time to launch a business. Challenges coming out of COVID, there was definitely periods of time when we weren't sure if we could work or whether we couldn't work. Obviously you have to manage that all the time. You're kind of managing that, as I say, with the financial aspect of the business, whilst trying to make sure clients understand the restrictions that are put on you. So it has been like a big learning curve, a really big learning curve. Having moved the business into the unit and juggling all the setup costs, etc., and getting things done, I did actually reach out to Braintree District Council earlier this year to ask them if there were any grants available. There weren't at the time, but they then started putting me in touch with people who could offer me support and guidance. I also spoke to a chap called Robert Laurie, who came to visit me here, and he sort of talked to me about the possibility of getting like a business loan if I needed to help me, with sort of like the ongoing setup costs and growing the business. So that has proved really, really useful, and I still can contact Robert and ask him for advice, which I have done. A couple of queries have come up along the way and I haven't known the answer, so I've rung him and said, do you know the answer to this? And if he didn't, most of the time he did, but if he didn't, he said, I'll go and find out and come back to you, which he did. So it's really useful. I'm a limited company now, but I am Betty and Bertie's, and when you run your own business, it's hard work. I love it, but it's absolutely hard work, and it can be a bit of a lonely place at times. So knowing that you've got somebody else to reach out to for support and guidance is absolutely invaluable. It's brilliant. I would definitely recommend people get in touch, because we get very blinkered when we run businesses. We forget to look outside sometimes for help and support, and we can kind of end up going around in circles thinking, I don't know what to do. Whereas here you've got a team of professionals who can give you that advice and support and just sort of guide you along the way. And of course, no question is a silly question. So I've found it really useful, and it's good to know that I've got those people to fall back on.
Hello, I'm Kylie Turkos Ferguson, and I run the Bell in Castle Hedingham with my sister Penny. We've been here for a number of years, and we're always looking for ways to adapt and improve the business. One of the biggest changes that's happened, I think that it's the nature of hospitality across the board, is that people's habits have changed. They come out earlier, they go home earlier, wet sales are down, food is steady and buoyant, but habits have changed, and we have tried to adapt to that by realising that people need different reasons to go to the pub. We received an email from Braintree District Council, I believe, offering help and support, advice and grants to businesses, and we were interested because we were at a point where we knew we had to diversify a little bit, try something new to adapt to the changing customer needs. And we weren't quite sure where to turn. So when the email arrived, we contacted Braintree District Council, who put us in touch with Let's Do Business, and we had a meeting with Robert Laurie, who came round to talk to us about these projects that we had wanted to see to fruition. When we spoke with Robert, he'd obviously done his research, so he knew quite a lot about our business. He was a very good listener, so we were able to offload all the ideas and projects and potential difficulties that were ahead of us. He did offer some new perspectives, and I think having somebody talk to us about our business from an outside perspective was quite invaluable. So one of our projects, as mentioned, was improving our garden area, and we had decided to get a ping pong table, some new picnic tables, to get some fencing, to enlarge our beer garden. And Robert suggested that we could perhaps do something for children and families, which wasn't in our original remit. I would recommend people do seek support, especially if they're not sure which way to turn. The people we spoke to, Robert in particular, they have got commercial experience and knowledge. They're looking at things from a different point of view, and I think that you can be in your own sort of bubble and not see things that other people do see. The support was free, and Robert spent plenty of time with us talking through every single aspect, and we certainly did gain something. And although it wasn't investment or grants, we were able to move ahead with the projects that we had chatted to him about and the ones that we'd identified as being areas that needed some work.